Hey everybody, Neil here from Post to Post. Welcome to Jersey Concepts. We do it every single Friday on the channel. This week we've got Revised, that's kind of the series name, Revised Jersey Concepts. The designer is Michael, and I believe that he's gone back into the past and taken specific jerseys from specific years and just updated them or changed them or revised them to be potentially something better. Now, I say potentially because I've not seen these before. If it's your first time, I always react to these designs from the community, so it's a lot of fun. Well, it's fun for me, and I'm hoping that it's fun for you. So if you're new, consider hitting the subscribe button at the end if you did enjoy this video. And let's jump into 32 NHL jersey concepts. Let's start off with Anaheim, and these files are by actual team name, Anaheim Ducks versus ANA, so the order might be a little bit different than we're usually used to, just based on abbreviation and alphabetical order. But Anaheim is still first, so let's go. Okay, coming up on my screen. And all right, okay, so Storming Designs, I guess, is his handle, but he says he doesn't have any handles, so no Instagram, no Twitter, or anything like that. So we've got a full uniform. Sorry, I thought they were just jerseys. A full uniform, and at the bottom it says 2006 to 2007 dark. So I like that reference here. That's going to help me a lot. I love jerseys. I collect jerseys, but I don't have the best jersey knowledge in terms of like specific years and stuff. I'm not perfect, right? So that's amazing, Michael. Thank you for putting that in there for a reference. So 2006, 2007, the numbers are different, and a couple other things are different as well. But generally, this is an Anaheim Ducks jersey. The striping is good. Really, not much to say here. The revision is minimal, but it works. Next, the Arizona Coyotes, 2022 to 2023 third. Well, if I'm not mistaken, no, I would be mistaken if I said that, because the Caccino was their alternate, but I believe that was around 2020 or 2021. They didn't officially change to a home jersey until, I think, maybe 2021, 2022, around there. So their alternate jersey was that kind of burgundy one that we saw. I completely forgot about that jersey, actually. Different logo on there, and different coloring as well, slightly. I don't think there was any purple in that one. But hypothetically, in this, this revised world, I think this would have gone over quite well. Now that logo, the primary logo that you see there, isn't my favorite Coyotes logo. I don't mind it on the front of a jersey. It's just not perfect for me. But I think this is a strong uniform. I think the release of this would have gone pretty well for the Coyotes and fans, I think. Next, the Atlanta Thrashers, 2008 to 2009. The numbers, that kind of light gray to the lighter blue. There's a weird transition there. I think we just need either white in between or something just to kind of bridge it. They're very close. It's just too close. Now the striping itself, the bottom of the jersey, that's totally fine. It kind of mimics the angle of the logo itself. The pants are quite interesting with that texture on there on the side. I'd be okay with this. Yeah, it's fine. Wow, we're going way back. Boston Bruins, 1939 to 1940. Now, sometimes I have a good memory. However, if we're going back that far for some specific teams, I cannot tell you what the Bruins used from 1939 to 1940. It's a very specific one-year window. I mean, obviously, it was probably pretty similar to this, but I can't tell you exactly what's been revised here. I can probably say that they likely didn't use white pants, though. An all-white uniform, even today, like that's probably a no-go. This is likely too white for me. I would have maybe wanted the brown pants or the black pants instead of the white. But in terms of just the jersey itself, I think that's a really good jersey. I think if they did come out with something like this, possibly for a future Winter Classic, people would appreciate it. Okay, next, 2013 to 2014, Buffalo Sabres third jersey. The gray is pretty good. Honestly, I like that logo on there as well. I'd probably say the same thing as I said in the last one, though. The colored pants, the same as the socks and the jersey. Maybe a little bit too much of solid color for this one. I would likely go with the dark blue pants or maybe the black pants or something. But yeah, honestly, there's not enough of that light gray in the NHL, so I think this is a great option, Michael, for a design. Yeah, good job. Next, the Calgary Flames, 2013 to 2014, third. Okay. There are things I definitely have concerns about on this one. The numbers, again, that lighter gray with a light color like yellow doesn't work for me. Also, the nameplate on the back, just Flames. I guess there is no nameplate technically. It's just the letters stitched on there. It's very awkward because it happens on a contrast position between colors from the red to the black. So it's very distracting on the back of the jersey. It doesn't look too bad on the front of a jersey, but if the C was there or an A or something, it would be crossing that same line. So I'd just move it up. Just move it up to the seam line, and I think we're pretty good. That logo specifically is nice. I see it more of a shoulder patch than anything, but yeah, it's a pretty cool concept, actually. Okay, next the Carolina Hurricanes, 2019 to 2020 white or away. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes have gone through a couple of transitions of white jerseys since 2017. And I think, hypothetically, if this did exist, I think this would be a great option. I really like the amount of black that's at the bottom. I think that would transition down into black pants, though, better than the white pants that we see here. So not red pants, not white pants, but black pants. If we did that, I think this would actually be the perfect away uniform. This is very good. Okay, next, Chicago Blackhawks. Well, Chicago, and this is 1940 to 1941. So again, can't tell you exactly what they used for that specific year. But for Chicago, they've done so much, even just in the last 20 years in terms of jerseys, or 15, honestly. They don't really have much else to do. However, the jersey that we see here, or the uniform, maybe again minus the white pants, this is pretty close to their previous Winter Classic that they just had, but as an inverse. Essentially, it's kind of like the white version. I even like the red nameplate on the back. I think that's pretty cool. Numbers look good. So I would be fully in favor of this. I like this design quite a bit, just not the pants. Next, the Colorado Avalanche. Again, kind of that lighter gray, so I think the NHL could use more of that, and this is a reference back to 2001 to 2002 third. Putting the foot on there has always been a little bit risky. I think even in the general Avalanche fan base, almost everyone loves the foot logo, but as a primary, I don't know. I think I'd probably have to see a physical version of the jersey to really form a strong opinion either way of it, but this isn't bad at all. Next, the Blue Jackets. Ooh, Reverse Retro 1.0. So the Blue Jackets did get some criticism for that Reverse Retro 1.0 that was in 2020. Can't exactly remember the year, but they got criticism because they're called the Blue Jackets, and the Reverse Retro jersey wasn't blue as the primary. I think it was red? I don't even remember, honestly, but I know that it wasn't blue, and I know that they got some criticism. So this one here, it's black as the primary, but the blue is in there, and you've got that. I love that logo. I love that logo. I think a lot of people do. I don't know if everyone would want it back on a jersey, but I know a lot of people love the logo. So I think this would be much more acceptable than Reverse Retro 1 that we actually got. So this is a good revised version, in my opinion, but I would make some tweaks likely around the logo. So the logo itself, I like it on a jersey, but maybe not this specific jersey. It just doesn't have the same kind of design language as the rest of the jersey, which is very uniform, classic, almost a little bit retro, where that logo itself is very cartoony and modern and colorful and vibrant, and there's, lighting, textures and stuff in there. Next, the Dallas Stars, 2007, 2008, and this is such a good jersey. I don't care if you use this now. I don't care if you use this 25 years ago or 15 years ago. This is an amazing uniform. I would 100% support this, Michael. 100% support this. Great job. Okay, next, another Reverse Retro. Reverse Retro 1 from the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings Reverse Retro 1 jersey was basically a practice jersey. There was not a lot going on there. There were some rubberized ears, I think, in the arms or something. I can't exactly remember, but it was very lackluster. There was some gray in there. That's basically it. This is very cool. Black is the primary. You got that D in there, which is pretty cool. However, I don't get reverse retro vibes from this, or maybe specifically retro vibes from this. This feels more like a Stadium Series jersey to me. So I like the jersey. I like the entire uniform here, even the black pants, but I don't know if it fits in the reverse retro series. Edmonton Oilers, 2025 to 2026, third. So I guess we're not going back into history. We're living in the present here with this one. We're just revising something that maybe exists and could get better. And I think maybe is a good word here, because maybe this isn't an improvement. It's a revision, but I don't know if it's an improvement. So maybe some people out there will think it's an improvement and maybe some won't. I don't mind it. It's not bad. I do like the amount of gray in there. I think that could be used more for the Oilers specifically, not just in general in the NHL, like I said, but for the Oilers specifically. I like the COG logo. I love it, actually. So I would personally be okay with this change, but I don't think it's perfect. But still, good job, Michael. Okay. Well, Florida Panthers, 2008, 2009, third. This is essentially, not exactly, but essentially Reverse Retro 2.0. And if you know me, then you know that I love this jersey. So I have nothing negative to say about this one. Big favor of this. LA Kings, 1995 to 1996, third. Was that the year that they had that weird jersey? I'd have to go back and look. I can't quite remember, but it did not go over well at the time. And I think this, even though it's not exactly what I would do design-wise, This is definitely better than that in the mid 90s. And I think that if this did exist, it would be one of those jerseys that maybe a lot of people wouldn't love at the time, but would become very popular 20 years from then, which is almost now 30 years or whatever. I could see people looking back on this and being, remember when they wore that, and they wanting it back, because it's a bit of a funky jersey. It's very left weighted. There's striping that changes, pinstriping that changes along the shoulders from side to side. The striping on one side is very angular and flat and just, pretty basic. And then on the other side, it's very swooping and it changes. It's got movement to it. It's very like Nashville Predators on one side. And then on the back, the line doesn't even match up on the other side. So there's a lot going on in this jersey. However, it does come together kind of nicely. So I'm a little bit on the fence with this one. Would it be something for them to use now? Not sure. Is it better than what they used back in 95, 96 as a third? Almost certainly. Minnesota Wild, 2007, 2008 dark. This is excellent. I really like this quite a bit. I'm going to get the year wrong. I think it was 2015, but Minnesota, I think, played Colorado in a Stadium Series game. And they wore a jersey that is kind of similar to this in terms of color. And I really liked it. A lot of people liked it as well. So I think this would have gone over very well. I think this would go over very well, even if they used it now. I really don't have anything negative to say about this one. Great job. Montreal Canadiens, 2025, 2026, white or away. If you've watched my opinions on the Montreal Canadiens history, watched my opinion on recently redesigning their jersey here on the channel, if you haven't seen that series, go check it out, then you'll know that I would be 100% in favor of this design, going back to the mid-40s design that they used for a couple of years for the white jersey. Absolutely, please bring it back. This is a great decision. However, I will mention the white pants. Not a fan of that. Nashville Predators, it's a pretty good jersey off the go here. 25-26 dark. So this is hypothetically the revised home jersey. This is very good. I like this quite a bit. It still has the punch of the yellow. Like, that's one of those things that, like I say on the channel sometimes, I don't like yellow jerseys. And I don't really like Nashville's jersey because it's so yellow. I don't hate yellow. I just hate the way that it's overused sometimes. I love the punch of yellow. I love it as a complementary color. I love it as a primary color when it's balanced correctly with an opposite color or a complementary color. I think Nashville just goes too far into the yellow. But here, look at the punch of this yellow. It leaps off the jersey in a very positive way. Blue is the primary, yellow is the secondary, complemented very nicely by the white or maybe silver. But I think this is a very modern jersey design, which is totally brand appropriate for Nashville Predators. On the front, on the back, it all works nicely, and it is very unique. So 100% on board for this one. Make it happen. Oh, the New Jersey Devils. This is cool. 2021 to 2022 third. What did they use for an alternate jersey during those years? Was it that heritage white jersey with some green in it? I can't quite remember, but this is very Reverse Retro 2.0 tweaked a little bit. This is a Kansas City Scouts callback, and I would be 100% in favor of this entire uniform design. This is fantastic. I think the Devils, if they came out with this now as an alternate, this would be extremely popular. So great job, Michael. Great execution on this one. The Islanders, wow, a black fisherman. Reverse Retro 1.0. So I would say that this revision is welcomed, because Reverse Retro 1.0 for the Islanders was essentially just changing the blue to a darker blue. That's really all they did. I think they may have changed the tone of the orange as well, but it was kind of a Detroit Red Wings playbook move. They didn't really do much. And I think some Islanders fans were okay with that, but there were a lot of fans that weren't, and a lot of jersey collectors that weren't very happy either. And I understand that an opinion from a jersey collector means nothing when it comes to a team. All right, had that conversation with the Dallas Stars jersey here recently. But I think this, regardless of who it comes from, whether it's a fan or a jersey collector or just someone who likes hockey in general, this is an interesting jersey for sure. Black is the primary, helps that logo kind of come off of the jersey. The fisherman really has presence on this jersey, which I love. You got the wave in there, which is great. The dark blue as well is pretty cool. A little bit dark to complement with the black, but still very stealthy in a way. My only little bit of criticism is that there's no teal pulled from the logo elsewhere in the jersey other than the shoulder patch, and that the orange used in the logo isn't the specific orange used in the jersey. Other than that, it's good. Rangers, 2010 to 2011 third. I don't remember what they used for a third that year, but I know that I like this. This is awesome. One of the best renditions of a Liberty jersey that I've seen. Yeah, absolutely. No complaints here whatsoever. This is a very well executed jersey. All right, Ottawa Senators uniform, 2008 to 2009, third. Can't tell you what they used that year. I really don't remember. I think that this has potential in certain areas. I would just remove all of the white from the interior of the jersey, from the armpits down the side here. Not a fan of that. And I think there is a bit of like Parliament Hill symbolism happening here in the shape, but it doesn't work for me. It looks awkward on the back with the nameplate. Yeah, not a fan of that. Other than that, I really like the jersey quite a bit. Whoa, this threw me for a loop here for a split second. 2024 Stadium Series from the Philadelphia Flyers, but I honestly, my mind said San Jose Sharks before it said Philadelphia Flyers. The colors are so San Jose Sharks, but the logo is obviously very Philadelphia with the skyline in there. I think that's a quite interesting idea, especially for a Stadium Series. I think that you're onto something, Michael, with this. I think this is a pretty cool revision, actually. But it is so San Jose Sharks that I think that we're getting a little bit too far away from the Flyers in terms of color. I think the teal is a good option, but I'm wondering if we could tweak the specific shade of teal so it's not so on brand for San Jose. Maybe a darker teal, maybe a lighter teal, maybe a little bit more in the green family or a little bit more in the blue family, something like that. It's just something to give it a little bit more uniqueness away from the San Jose Sharks. But it's a really cool uniform idea. Next. 1992 to 1993 dark jerseys, so the home jersey. I don't remember specifically what they used that year. I don't know if it was the Robo Penguin or not, like the mixed side one. However, I really like this. If they use this now for an alternate or for a home, I would fully be on board for this. Yeah, no complaints whatsoever on this one. I think you nailed it. San Jose Sharks 2015 Stadium Series. Oh, I wonder if it was Minnesota that played. No, it wasn't. It wasn't because LA played San Jose. Anyway, I have the 2015 Stadium Series jersey from San Jose. It is one of my favorite jerseys of all time, and I don't think that this is better. I know a lot of people didn't like the one that they used, though, so I can understand why maybe a lot of people would like this. I think there is some symbolism here that is pretty cool. Like, for example, the logo has the fin of the shark kind of coming out of the water, but also the jersey design itself is maybe there to mimic the environment of water or the ocean, where it's split halfway up. That's the water line. Up top is the night sky or whatever. Down below is the water. And the shark is, again, kind of coming out of the water on the jersey, not just the logo. So pretty cool symbolism, but I think it's a little bit busy as a jersey or a uniform in general. Seattle Reverse Retro 2.0. Yes, minus the logo. The logo being red isn't a bad thing, but when you're using another shade of red or almost a maroon as the primary color, it just bleeds into the background almost seamlessly in a kind of a bad way. So I would make the primary color different, or I would make the logo primary color different, if that makes sense. But in terms of the jersey design and stuff, absolutely. St. Louis Blues Reverse Retro 1.0. If I'm not mistaken, St. Louis did a red version of their alternate jersey at the time. And a lot of people did not like it. I was in the position where I did like it, but I knew that there were not many like me. I think this would not have been a bad decision. I think it would have been accepted. I would say accepted. It is a mix between two generations. It's a mix between that alternate jersey that is now black as the primary, blue as the secondary, with yellow as the tertiary complementary color. But you're using the logo from that Reebok jersey that they used around 2012-ish. So we're combining kind of two retro eras. It looks okay. I don't think it's better than what we got, and that's probably a bit of a hot take. I don't think that many people would agree with that. Okay, Tampa Bay Lightning 2008-2009 third jersey. Not bad at all. I'm okay with this. Like bring this back. This doesn't exist. You can't bring it back, but bring it out. Bring it out. I think this would go over pretty well. Yeah, good job. Toronto Maple Leafs. A little bit dark. So 2021-2022 third. Was this the reverse jersey year? The stupid Justin Bieber collaboration one? I can't remember that. Or I don't remember the year, I guess. But I like the jersey. I like the striping. I like the fact that it's two-tone. It works in the sleeves, in the striping, in the back, in the pants, the socks. It all works good, but it loses me in the logo because it's almost, the font isn't thick enough, or it needs a stroke or something. I don't know what you do for a stroke if it's a two-tone jersey. You can't use the same blue that's in the logo. I would maybe consider having the jersey not be two-tone. Keep everything the exact same, but change the lettering on the front to white. Maybe it wouldn't work. I don't know, but I do like it. Okay, Utah Mammoth 2025-2026 away jersey. So basically, the correct or the better logo was put on the away jersey. That's really all that has changed here. I think the pants obviously as well. But yeah, I would be in favor of this revision for sure. Vancouver Canucks 1978 to 1979. I know that they used a lot of crazy designs around that time. I don't specifically remember what they used for that year. I don't know if that was the full V year or what, but I like this jersey. Like, I like this uniform. Now, it's not better than the original skate jersey. It's not better than the Adidas alternate skate jersey, and it's not better than the current Fanatics skate jersey alternate. But it is a nice version of the skate jersey. So I would still be okay if this did exist back then or did exist today. Okay, Vegas Golden Knights, 2024 Winter Classic. Not a very loved jersey, but not really a hated jersey either. People just didn't really feel much about it. I think that a lot of people like the logo, but not so much the colorization. So I think this revision is okay, even though it's still pretty similar to what they used. But I would be okay with this revision. It's fine for me. Next, the Washington Capitals, 2007 to 2008 dark. I think it's pretty similar to what they actually used. I think some, like the white in the sleeves has gotten bigger. The blue in the interior, I don't recognize. The logo itself, they did not use that for a primary. I don't know if it's a better version than what they used, but it's not bad. And because of the naming of the file names, Winnipeg's actually last to this time. And 2018-2019 third jersey, what did they use? Was that the Jets bright blue jersey? I think it was. I've seen concepts very similar to this, using red as the primary. I think it's okay as an alternate in this situation, or a third jersey. So I think Michael made the good decision to make it a third or an alternate or a specialty or whatever, and not a home. I don't personally like the Winnipeg Jets using red as a primary for their home jersey, but I'd like this uniform, and I would be fully on board for this. Yeah, so overall, really interesting series. Most of our series are from a specific year or a specific series, like a stadium series, and all the jerseys are stadium series for each team. Where this is very unique in the sense that we're going back literally almost hundreds of years to maybe a current year. So really cherry picking different jerseys and uniform designs from different years and kind of revising them. I don't think anyone's ever done that before in a submission, so I really appreciate that. In terms of my favorite, I think the best revision is likely Nashville for me. I think it's on brand. It improves what they have. It also reaches back into their history a little bit. I think it would be well received by quite a few people. But I think the one that really took me for a surprise, and the one that I think would do very well if it was released today, even though it's not being pulled from this specific year, is the New Jersey Devils one, the 2021-2022 third jersey. If this came out as an alternate now, I think it would be extremely popular. That's a very nice looking uniform. I can just see some really cool matchups here with uniforms based on their opponents. So this is going to be my favorite. Excellent job, Michael. So now I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments section. What was your favorite design in this video by Michael? I'm sure he's going to read the comments as well. So leave your comments down below. Let me know your favorites. Let him know your favorites. Feel free to give constructive feedback. And if this has tickled your little creative brain and you want to submit something for yourself, I would love that. Details on how to do that are down below in the description. It links to a video walking you through the process of how to submit to the channel. And if you don't have a template, there are free ones out there. There's the Puck Designs one that's free. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use Photopea, which is a browser-based version of Photoshop that's free. There are free options. You can jump right in. But if you want to take it a little bit more seriously, maybe dive in and make this a true passion or a potential future career, you can check out the sportstemplates.net template. It's honestly the one that most people use. It's the highest quality in the industry, fully 3D, fully dynamic lighting, 8K, and I can save you 10% if you use my code post-to-post. That code also applies to any other template on the site and not just hockey specific ones. It would be football, basketball, baseball, soccer. Essentially whatever template you want to buy on the site, my code will work for 10% off. And there's free ones available as well, so make sure you get one of those free ones or any free ones that they have on there. So thanks once again for watching. I hope you guys have a great start to your weekend, and we'll talk to you very soon on the channel. Adios.